Is there a story that maybe you'd like to share with us? A story whereby when someone is listening at home can say, like really something that you've been through, that might also create awareness for you. No, don't do this because I've tried it and then this is what happened to me. Or any story. Do you have any story that you'd love to share with us, that you'd like to open up with us now?
Okay, so before before I speak on Ilabazam, I would like to know what are you looking forward to hear? What do you have in mind? Like considering maybe your suggestions and then maybe I can put them all together.
In life, we go through a lot of things, different things. But there is this thing where I will never forget this. I will never forget this day. It might be a good thing that happened, or it might be a bad thing. Go to Angie that will remember. It's a story that I can tell you. There's something again. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so
it doesn't have to be a bad thing or a dangerous or a scary and total, but
so in the previous video, like I mentioned, hence I'm spiritual. Not that spiritual, but I am spiritual. So I would speak on a person's energy, like wow, you see. So back in 2017. When I realized that I was actually spiritual, when I found out, basically it was in 2016 before my sister passed on. I feel like she gave me something from her side because I never had that as a kid. I never saw any spirit or anything. I was okay. Yeah. I wasn't afraid of the dark, nothing. It was only when my sister visited us and while she was sick, she had a dream. So for the fact that she was close towards my dad more than her dad or any other person, she had a dream. Uti Ubamam was in the bathroom and he was shaving himself like by the mirror. He usually like cuts himself. He doesn't go to the salon. He only goes to the salon if he's getting his hair done. So my sister said she had a dream. He was like shaving himself and then there was some short black shadow in Wabake and and which of my dad loves keeping these sort of big knives. Like he only like everywhere we go, everywhere we move to, if that knife breaks or whatever, he always like has a big one. You understand? And I wouldn't say we use a lot of knives because I won't lie, I don't usually cook a lot because Ubaba grew up buying takeaways, you understand? For me, because I was still young and there was no woman in the house to cook and stuff like that. So I grew up with him buying takeaways and things like that, you understand? So I cook here and there, you understand? So it's like not really a need of, So after that, when she had that dream, my dad decided to talk to his mom in Makaya. And then Mama came wamtshela ukuthi she was not happy. Okay, none of the family members from my father's side were happy. Ukuthi ubaba washada nomama. I would say they weren't approving the marriage, but unfortunately, Baba Mbega so he went on with the process. So my sister was 15 years old when she was sick in 2016. So when she was sick, she told my dad the dream she had. That's when she went back in Makaya to Port Elizabeth and then she passed on. So it was all left in San from my father's side. So she went to the priest from that side. Hence, my dad doesn't go to any other priest of his religion this side. We always contact abantu basemakhaya that side to go to that specific priest. So before Gogo passed on, she told my dad that she basically my dad also found out that the reason why my sister had that dream was because lo muntu lo umama was when she married my dad she converted to being a Muslim. So basically when she was converted to being a Muslim she was obviously introduced to the family. So my grandmom from my dad's side obviously went to the priest and got medication and all those type of herbs to, not make amabadi or anything follow us, witchcraft should be easy upon us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hence my granny and the family of my father's side wasn't approving the marriage. But they still decided to support my dad because obviously it's their kid, it's their brother, it's their uncle. So when my dad found out that my mom had an affair, apparently when he went to a priest, there's a certain priest he actually went to, and he only went to that priest like once or twice. And the second time, and I went to go and get something like this. Do you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I work with this because this was only after my sister passed on. That's when I started having this thing because I feel like I actually realized that that's when my sister passed something she had onto me. So basically my sister was the one who was aware of whatever muti was used. Not that she knew of, but basically she was getting the signs which she was not aware of, you understand? Because she was a soft-hearted person, easy to target. Like, maybe for example, if you feel she was an easy person to target.
Yeah.
So when she had that dream, Bachelu Baba, my dad went to a priest, she went to Makaya, then she passed on. Ugogo was Jela Uguti Kona Umoya Umubi that's following all, you understand? And then that's when my granny passed on in 2019. So the day before she passed on, when we moved to Indonesia in 2017, that's when I started feeling the spiritual world, like where we were living, specifically in Indonesia, Extension 13. In that HRT Nakona Vele, I never loved it, especially when it came to the nighttime.
Yeah.
From 6 or 7 latest. I never liked HRT, you understand? It's very disturbing because hence my sister was an easy person to target. Why I like it. It was the same thing with me. So she passed on whatever she had to me. Hence, I felt like she would have passed it to Usiswama Munye, but she wasn't near her to pass it on, do you understand? And plus, I feel like the only reason why it passed on to me was because the dream she had was about my dad, and it's only me and my dad that has one bloodline.
Yeah.
Not her and my dad, do you understand? So, after all of that, my dad found out Uti. Apparently, I'm not sure if it was the guy Mama had an affair with. So, Kati, I think Benglele. One of my dad's friends was spiritual. He was very spiritual. Begangtana, and he was a nice uncle to me. He loved me so much. So he always loved keeping my dad close. He loved keeping my dad close. Like, it would get to a point where every time I'm sleeping, he'd always stay awake, and he'd literally be like he would be sitting there because mostly I have trouble at night sleeping. I have trouble. I'll cry, I'll speak, and I'll say things I'm not even aware of, but I'll say things I know because I dreamt it. So if I wake up and it's with you, because so she would see it was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So Ubaba Bengele, so apparently lo malume wami bekathandaza. So ubaba wangivusa siyothandaza. And then we went to the lounge and we were praying. And now, mind you, our last prayer in the day is, I think, past 8 or to 9. So yeah, I think it's past 8. It's 8:15. That's the last prayer of the day, 8:15. So when we were praying, apparently out of nowhere, my uncle was in a certain posture while praying, which is the process of how we pray. So when he was in that posture, umalume bekangasukumi. He was just growling and growling, like, and ubaba bekathandaze, and I was a kid, so mawuthandaza in a move, it's not like it's a sin because so I would move, and I wouldn't disturb my dad because I know as an adult you should focus in praying and understanding our religion. So bengiyela ubaba athandaze, but then now the more he's growing, the more I'm becoming uncomfortable because now it's like he's like I said, umoya wami, it's easy to take over. So now it's like he's trying to communicate to my spirit without me speaking because obviously I didn't know how to explain whatever's happening, and my dad didn't know what was going on because I would always cut out what is that? And he wouldn't see what he so he'd be like, and I'm it's literally standing there and it's looking at me like my dad would see I'm very disturbed. Like I'm not that type of you. I never played with spiritual things like that. As a kid growing up, I never played with anything like that. So Benglele. So let's cut before my dad woke me up, Tanaza. I overheard them speaking Ubawa. Umalume watshela ubaba ukuthi igazi, the type of blood they used to ukuthatha umama wami ukumcontrola because like as I said, my mom was not the type of fame. So my dad found out from that guy that from Umalume ukuthi they used our blood, a pigeon's blood, a bird's blood, in Yoni, and I think a cat's blood, or not. I'm not sure which other animal, but I'm sure there's a cat too. Those three, these guys are these three. And then after that, I never heard him speak about that again. That was the first and last time I heard of that. And my dad never spoke about it to anybody else, nothing like that. So it was shocking to me. I only brought it up recently, yeah. So then when we moved out to Lenasia in 2017, my mom had a girlfriend. I mean, my dad had a girlfriend. My dad had a girlfriend. So when she came to visit us, so I never had umoya alright from past 6 in the evening. I never liked the outside streets. So if I'm playing outside, I'll be in by 5. So when that happened, my dad was like, let's leave this place for a while and go and visit your uncle. Which I think he stayed in extension 1 of Lenasia. And we went to go and visit him for a week. Oh, I think my dad was a bit late on rent and we had to move in there. And he didn't mind helping us at all. Hence I said he loved keeping my dad close. Even with me, he basically loved keeping my dad close because of me. And most of my dad's spiritual friends or priests that they went to always had problems about me. Like there was a lot of ipati elandela mina mostly because I'm the last breed from my dad's side. You see. So it was mostly coming to me, everything was falling upon me, just that darkness following me and things like that. So he liked keeping us close for that situation. So Leskati Batangaza, he was growling and growling. And wow, and I was being bothered by that because now he's growling non-stop and it's dark, like I'm coming from Endlini where I'm irritated past 6 and it's already the last prayer, it's already past 6, I don't know, he's growling. I'm not saying, what's going on now? What time again? That's I'm like, well, I stop it because I'm being irritated. Like, it's disturbing me. Young Tusa. Apparently, he stopped on his own. Not to say that because then I thought I disturbed him from praying. And then I asked him, I'm like, are you okay, uncle? And then I'd say, I'm right. It's just like when Sanders, But then I go right after that. It's like, more like I was really, really bothered. So I fell asleep again, and then he was always sitting by my feet. Apparently, every time I just cried, when it comes to crying, I wouldn't hear myself. But sometimes I would hear myself. So he would sit by my feet every time I would just start crying or talking. He'd take a chair, he'd sit opposite my face because of and then he'd pray a certain prayer. He'd write. So we read in Arabic and we write in Arabic. So he'd write a certain prayer on a piece of paper. He'd fold it, he'd read, he'd blow on it 3 times, and then he'd put it in a bottle of water or in a glass of water. And then he'd do another certain prayer that takes out bad luck, bad eyes and everything, and then he'd blow 3 times in a glass of water or in a bottle of water. And then he would wake me up at Puzanans, and then I'd sleep okay after that. So when we moved to Lenasia in 2017, that's when I actually realized that I was more spiritual, and I started tapping into my spiritual world. That's when I actually realized that if it's not that dead, then then abantu that's not resting in peace, like I'll always get in contact with them, they'll come to me, I would always just see them, So it was a day where I decided to come late in Gini. I wasn't playing far. I had a friend that stayed next door and then the other one next door. And then there was one that So in Lens, the roads are they're all curvy, they're you don't find most roads they mostly So basically I feel like that whole street had a problem. But in that whole street, I feel like the house at the end of the street, because then there was a big bush from there. So that house, it was weird because then it was an empty yard with a small room that's there and it's dark, the grass is also long. Every time I would pass there, so hence I go to school. We were in one transport in that street, obviously. So we was because they come from the areas that side and then they go to So she'd stay opposite that house. So every time I pass by that house, I would just call my friend fast. I'd tell her, can you come fast? I don't want to stand outside. So I was also kind of bothered by the bush. During the day I had that feeling, but at night I really never liked being there. So it was that house and Lam that specifically I had a problem with Kuleostrat. So basically the landlord she was not too friendly. She was too So there was a night where I decided to get late, number 7. So manje makuyisikhathi sokushiya abangani bami. My hands now I'm on this side, I'm not on that side. So I'm with my friends. It's a girl and she had 2 sisters. So there was 4 of us. So we play Jardin Lake. We'd never play Jardin Lam. I never liked playing Jardin Lam. If we play Jardin Lam, it was outside the garage, not inside my yard. So okay, we're playing. 7 o'clock, you're shy.
Yeah.
So something is telling me, Fatima, go home. Don't mind late more than,
Yeah.
So manje, I'm telling my friends, I'm like, hi, it's mainly manje, it's gonna be capping. So I'm cover, I'm shaking. Hi. So immediately manje, you're still in it, I'm going to
Yeah.
So manje, I asked my friends, it's gonna be halfway, because it was a long passage and it was dark. So the rooms at the back, they didn't have a kitchen inside, they didn't have a bathroom inside, all the rooms. So in that passage, as you enter, it's a gate. It's like a gate that's small. So when you enter, when you look, immediately as you enter and you look on your left, that's the entrance, like the kitchen entrance to the main house. So when you walk up and down, the zinc is there, like where the people at the back can wash dishes.
Yeah.
So when you walk a bit more further, like that whole passage is just dark. Now, hence it maybe say it's the size. Yeah. So every time we once I the tap, until I turn, because when I turn, I have to go straight again. Then I enter my room, because then you see when you see my door, as soon as you stand in front of my door and you look right, it's another door, like in camera. So when I get to the end of the passage that's straight, that's where this much of space is, where we hang our washing. That's where now we hang our washing.
Yeah.
And I never liked that space, because then there's like a pathway and the grass will always stay long, like she'd hardly cut the grass. And I never liked it. I don't like long grass. I don't know why. So imagine mangifika lapha ekhoneni bengihlala ngizitshela ukuthi okay masengifika la sengigijima, because I feel like I was always watched.
Yeah.
And that's in that certain place, because it was an open space, and when you pass the washing line, and move over the other rooms, there was a gap. There was like just space, and it's just like plenty of bricks. But now the bricks weren't full or weren't like level. They were just like on some a way like
Yeah.
So I was bothered by the fact that why are the bricks sitting like that, do you understand? But then I was like, let me not get too much attention of me, you understand? So that certain night when I came home around 7, I said, and by the way I asked them, they saw hi, I was bothered. So they got scared and they were like,
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I begged them. They were like, when I ran and I passed the dustbin, every time I passed the dustbin, as soon as I would turn and my back or my right side would face that side, it's just like I'm watching you, like I can see you, like I always felt like every time I passed there, I felt like Konito smiling, and it would smile to me in a weird way, like young too. So like I wouldn't see it, but spiritually I would see it as I'm scared, like the image is there, like I would see what's seeing me and smiling at me, like
what was it? What they were like
I always see that thing every time I close my eyes. It's, I would say, it's like its neck, its head, it's fallen off. Do you understand? I would say sort of like it's like yes, Bambi can't. It's not holding its head, but its head, it's fallen. Do you understand? And it's just a creepy smile whereby it's a demonic one to say, I could take you at any time, but for now I'm gonna provoke you. So so as I would run past that place, on that day, and it was weird to me, but then he had back pains, and in my kaya, they had back pains. things. So I was like, oh, okay, no problem. So ngagijima, and then as soon as I went in the house, my back was facing that passage. So as soon as I entered, masingithi ngifuna ukuvala umnyango, my dad is sleeping. Manje yena is gone, ule. Sengizwa yuhu. Mind you, I'm 9 years old now. I'm 9. Yo. Like at the end of the passage, like it's like that thing that was smiling at me. Seyidlala nami manje. Yabo. Yuhu. Manje ngithi ngifuna ukuvala umnyango. Khona into engitshelayo ukuthi ngibheke. Yabo. Manje I'm fighting. Mara mase ngifuna ukuvula mara ngithi hayithi ngivale mara I wanna open but manje I'm fighting because I can feel it ukuthi if ngabheka yoqhamuka ngala ayiqhamuka ngale ingiza khona. It won't come out from where it's calling me. It will come from this side. So something finally fought in me and was like, close the door. So as I closed the door, I wanted to lock it. But before I locked it, I asked my dad, Daddy, is really because I thought maybe it was my friends because I didn't lock. I was ready to open and check again.
Yeah.
What was that? Because there's no one when he was cutting an apple, and I know my landlord's son liked playing tricks on me, but it was too late for him to be outside playing tricks on me like that. Plus, so I was like, who could it be, man? Because I know Umtanagalo would never ever pull a prank like that. So when I heard that, I was bothered. And it really shook me. And I was uzwile lokho athi in ngathi awizwanga ngithi uzweni ngathi ngizwe yuhu yabo athi cela usheshe uvale umnyango ngavala ngakhiya athi cima ama-light ngithi uthini ngicima ama-light ngithi uvuke wena ngicima ama-light wavuka ngathi ima ngicela ngagijima ngayo ebhedini ngazivala. And every time I'll come from a situation enjalo bengeke ngilale ngekhanda lami livule, I would sleep ngekhanda lami livalile because I have a habit of opening my eyes. Until I fall asleep, I'll close my eyes. If I can't fall asleep, angeke ngivala. So I'll just put the blanket over my head and then ngavala ngathi so ngacima ama-light ubaba wacima ama-light. And then I prayed because I felt like that thing was near me. It was like, so basically, so passage this is the door. It was one big room. You see? So when you look the side, the bed is at the end, the kitchen is this side, you understand? The TV is opposite the bed. And there was a bit of space between the bed and the sliding door because there was a sliding door. The sliding door didn't work. So I loved sleeping next to the sliding door. So I told my dad to leave open space. I'm not going to give it space. So ubaba washiya space lapho. So every time I sleep, I'd feel like into emile lapho nje like it's always there. Yeah, ngiyangikhombisa ukuthi ngiphethe, I got you, like mangikufuna ngakuthatha. So every time I feel bothered, I wouldn't jumpisa, bengijumpisa ukuthi ngiyayizwa ngizobusa ubaba nje kuphela kahle ukuthi baba angikwazi ukulala. Then they pray for me, and then because I felt like if bengijumpisa bezothatha action, like beyinyekile manje bezongithusa ukuthi manje ubaba naye athuseke because akaboni into engiyibonayo mina yabo. So to him it's like lento le engihluphayo vele ingangithatha because he's not seeing what's provoking me. So every time ngamtshela straight ukuthi baba angiphathanga kahle, you pray same time because uyazi hayi, because I never used to speak like this vele yabo. So manje sisi ushonile vele washona waqala yena vele ngale izinto lezokuphupha insehubuye. So that night during that night I fell asleep, and then I had a dream whereby something was knocking on the window. And it was during the day.
Yeah.
And at that time I had an enemy. I won't lie, I was young, but that I won't lie. That was my enemy, and spiritually, I didn't know. So she was, I think, her name was Lisedi.
Yeah.
Her name was Lisedi. I don't know if it was her cousin or her brother, but now I named him because I feel like whatever they had going on, he would always participate in it. You understand? And then at some point he'd like be kind to me, to like, you know, and I think she was very yeah. So I was on some I get like that was like I was the type of a person of if I don't love your energy and I feel like I'm super I wouldn't bother myself. I'll tell you straight, I don't wanna be with you. You see. So I had a dream which something was knocking on the window, right?
Yeah.
And then in my dream I woke up. Lovely kitties. For a few seconds there was nothing. Out of nowhere, I'm being just like that. And then I woke up. And then when I woke up, I had a bad dream. But what was the dream? And then I told him the dream, and then he prayed a certain prayer which I don't know of. And then I fell asleep. And then the next day, I went to the same friends that I came from, and they were Xhosas. So I went to them and I told them about the dream because they knew me and they said it's beef. They knew what I mean. Said, it would never be nice. We were always going back and forth at each other because he said he always had a problem with me, and I never had a problem with no one. Do you understand? So I was irritated by the fact that he says he's the only person that has a problem with me. Hence, I'm the next. So when I told them, yes, he said he's not with me now. He said, so I would always go there, because he would make cupcakes, like I'm a cappuccino. Ooh, I'd go and buy, like my dad knows. If I because I'm for my cupcake walk on. So
like I said.
So I also felt like I also feel like because that was one thing that always kept me laughing, like I'd always be there. So at some point I got tired of my cupcakes. I was like, I'm a cupcake. You don't want to like the whole day I keep buying things. Every 2 rand, every 3 rand I had, I'd buy So when I woke up from that dream, and they were Xhosas, I wish I remember the name. I love them. So I told them, I was like, okay, this happened, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you understand, it was a black mama. And they were like, Shuguti is near you. You understand, it was now. And then that's when I was like, even though they're young, they trust us. So I was like, they're probably spiritual and they know. Because obviously, I know from some of my Xhosa friends, as you grow up, they are in the process of they teaching you how to be spiritual, and all of that. So they told me straight, now your enemy is close to you. That's why you had that dream. And in my head, the first person who come who said is drained. And no one else. The way Azul said after that, I distanced myself from her after that. I was like, no, we're more movie. And then I started playing with them more often, and Lise would be bothered. She would be bothered. So, and I felt like something was going on because Ugokwake had a problem with my father, which I don't know what was the problem, which till today, if I can go there, so so I've learned that I'm spiritual, because then when we moved out from there, that was the main reason why we moved out, because I was really being bothered there. So this place is not like we have to move out. So before we moved out, my dad had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So because apparently she called my dad. McDonald's, you see. So sayang, take back until we get busy. And it was beautiful because I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I loved her from there because it wasn't a thing of she was buying me. No, she really loved my dad for who he was. And she loved me for who I am. I was very entertaining. And I loved her so much because she loved me. And I loved the person who loved my dad.
Yeah.
So was Farashela for a weekend in that same yard where I had that experience in hands.
Yeah.
I was Farashela. So manje hands ngakutshela mina ngilala esliding door. So bekubaba bese bekumuntu wakhe, then it was me.
Yeah.
So leyo busuku yonke into be-right man, angizwanga ukuthi khona into engihluphayo. Ku-7 ku-6 vele. So sinokulala ngabo-8, half 8 to 9.
Yeah.
So bekuyisikhathi sokuthi silale. Manje umuntu kababa uyangifaka embhedeni manje yabo. Wavula umbhede, ukhipha amaphilo, nasefaka amapijama yabo.
Yeah.
Ubaba waqala ukungena embhedeni, walandela umuntu wakhe. Sekugcina mina ukungena embhedeni. And mina sengingena ngathi side.
Yeah.
So mangena this side, I go on top of the bed. So I usually fall asleep on my right. On my right. I can't sleep on my left.
Yeah.
So mangithi ngiyajika ngifuna ukuzivala ngengubo. Khona into the same thing usisi wami waphupha ngayo. Manje mina sengiyayibona angiyiphuphi. And I didn't feel it at all. It didn't give me a feeling ukuthi I'm here for you or anything.
Yeah,
yes. So mangithi ngiyajika ngiyayibona. And that thing, you can see it's levitating. Ngiyayibona ukuthi it's floating. Ayihambi ngenyawo. And you can see ukuthi iyashake, so just ukubonisa ukuthi it's spiritual. It's not an actual figure. So as soon as I saw it, ngajumpisa ukuthi ngiyayibona.
Yeah.
So mangijumpisa ukuthi ngiyayibona, that's when nayo yajumpisa ukuthi ingijumpisile ukuthi ngayibona.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw it, ngathi Papa, what is that? And leyo nto beyibheka ubaba wami, bengabheki mina. Like it was right next to my dad. Beyibheka ubaba wami ngathi
describe ukuthi
as if
some describe some more.
I could say it didn't have a face at all. You couldn't even see the gap. You wouldn't see no darkness, you wouldn't see nothing. It's just a whole black figure. And you can see it's spiritual. It's not a figure of, you can see Wuti Wumo. You can see straight Wuti Wumo. This is spiritual straight. Because I have now, it's just moving Jengo Moya. So as soon as I saw it, because what is that? There's no one else in Guinea, see 3 local manch. And I was bothered because it was standing next to my dad, like right pambo, so like in begging straight. So to me it was a thing of, is it the thing usiswama pupa ngayo? Cause this can't be petunes. So this time being a pattern mess, it was being bega ngendlela yokuthi I can just take your soul now, njengoba so I'm doing mess. So to me it was it's in Vusubaba before anything happens, you understand? So ngathi Papa, ngathi Papa vuka, ngathi yini lokho? So ubaba akabheki la kuyi, ubheka le, because he can't see anything. So I was like, Papa, it's standing right in front of you, like limile phambi kwakho. Baba msiyaqala ukubheka la, akaboni next. Mangathi uyangibuza ukuthi what is it, that thing? Yathi it floats, like it floated as in speed. Less than a second, it came right next to me. And I didn't wait for it to come right here. As soon as I saw it come my direction, I jumped up and then I started crying, like my dad could see. I followed it as it ran, like because as my father was about to ask me again, what did you see? So as soon as he turned, he saw me. And then I was like, then I jumped because you're being bigger. And when that thing ran towards me, it brought up the image I saw when I walked past there. Shubuti, whatever was hunting me was hunting my dad in the first place, but decided to come to me because I was weaker. And my dad wasn't the type to believe in things like this. He would always push me to avoid things like this. So until my dad saw Guti Ayla and Lani, because he'd get angry at me. I'm like, I is just so when I'm like, and then now I'm being no quiet and you choose straight Guti Azin, we can't tell you that Lani is just so, Yabo, that's too pay, like being in that anything too high. So, that's when my dad was like, there's something going on with you. So immediately after that, I nalala emasiphathini ubaba wangithandazela until I fell asleep. Then he fell asleep. So after that, we moved out. Sahlala La Rochelle, A6 Street.
Yeah.
It was 2019. Then that's when Kwakwan from my mom's side. I mean from Ubaba was shown. So before she passed on, the night before she passed on. So basically, when it's night this side, it's like in the AMs, So we were getting ready to sleep. So when we were getting ready to sleep, and then I was still growing. So in my religion, it's not allowed for a woman to sleep when they pass the age of seven going up. A woman must be on their own, like have their own room and everything. So at that time, Ubaba wasn't making much money to get like ikamera. So he got me like a mattress, you see. So I never minded as long as I had something to sleep on and maybe do Ubaba. So we were getting ready to sleep. Ubaba was laying my mattress, gave me my blanket. And then when Ubaba switched off the lights, my dad was laying. He was busy with the phone, and on this side it was a balcony, but it was you could go. There was a door, so there was 2 windows on the side, and there was a street light outside. So very anything that goes outside, anything because of the shadow. So my dad was laying facing that way. The bed was like this, and I was laying like this on the by the end of the bed on my mattress, my pants, and I was facing this side. So out of nowhere, and he's towards the balcony, as if someone is there. Okay, sharp. Hence, I never liked that place also because I had a problem with the kitchen. You see, the fridge was near the entrance, and that was a glass fridge. So it's like the other door where there's no. It's like. You see the space of the door, Let's say, for example, the other side of the fridge is on this side, and then the other side, these are the pathway. So every time I'd open the room door and just take my head out, I see the fridge already. And when I see the fridge, it's like there's always a figure that's standing on that side. Do you understand? And I'm always seeing that person and that person is always standing on that side, like, why are you standing there? Why are you looking at me? I was the type of always asking these employees, like, why are you telling me? Because then I got used to it last year. So I was just like, if umuntu obona abantu bafile or abantu that's not resting in peace, why ninga approach kahle yabo? Ningangithusi man, like I end up getting peace with it, you understand? Like approach me right, ngoba ngiyahlupha yabo. So my dad started uvele wajamba wathi, hey, what the fuck you doing? What? Manje mina ngimangele ukuthi hawu ubaba uvele waqala ukurasa kanjalo nje. Who's that? You understand? So all of a sudden, I'm scared of the dark now because we moved from Malaysia after experiencing all of that. Angithi ngiyaphuma ekamereni angibawa ukuya ngomesi. Ngithi hawu, yebana. Ngiyamgijimisa ngithi baba what's wrong? Awungibangele baba uhamba ngebhesi uyathukana lapha ebhakani. Hayi baba uyangitshela ngibone into emnyama lapho ngathi beyifuna ukungena apparently it climbed on the wall and then it just flew away. And I didn't notice everything. That's why he ended up going to fetch a knife and come back with it. So as soon as all of that happened, Anton from my dad's side called him. It's now, mind you, going to 1 a.m. So before that, after all of that happened, Ubaba was amungilalisa because now I'm disturbed, I'm distracted. Ubaba uraselinte ngayibonanga. So what is it that's going on? So Ubaba was amungilalisa. Okay, ngalala. So as soon as my dad went into the bed, but a few minutes busy your phone, mina ngavuka. Like something literally bothered me. Like it woke me up and it took over me for a few seconds.
Yeah.
So ngavuka, I was very dizzy. I had no balance at all.
Yeah.
Like bengihamba, I was falling. So ubaba wangibona ngashayisa khona ngala. So ubaba washesha wavuka walayita amalayithi wangisukumisa. Bengangikwazi ukumsukumisa, that's how heavy I was. And I was young, so I was light. So my dad couldn't pick me up. That's how heavy I felt. Like whatever it is, it's draining me. Yangithatha. So ubaba wagijima wavusa the next door person. Umalume wabuya because bengijimile ukuhlala nomalume like today sibukela ama-movie because he was the one who was interested in movies, ama-series. So bekahlala ngifaka kwema-movie nama-series futhi yabo. So we'd have movie nights, sibukela ama-movies, yabo. So baba wagijima buya fast bamvusa. They came and they picked me up, and my father started praying for me. While he was praying for me, I was irritated, being calm, like, being supreme. And then I stopped being dizzy. And then I fell asleep from there. Baba was the next day, he was like, are you okay? I said, yeah. And then before that incident happened, Savuswa he called. And like ngavuswa ubaba vele ngabo 1 ekuseni. Antomdala from that side wamfonela ekuseni. Wasitshela ukuthi hayi umama waze e-hospital and kuthiwa she's not gonna make it. Ubaba waqala ukukhala. That was the first time ngabona ubaba wakhala. And that was, to me, that was weird because ubaba wangivusa. So to me, hence I said I was already accepting that I'm spiritual, I'm seeing things, and I was young, but I already accepted and things like that. So to me, I was putting 1 and 2 together. How the same night, the same morning. What is going on? So Ubaba also wasn't okay with that. Ubaba took note of that and said, I got right into it. So Bonnie spoke of say, Mama said, what is going on? Do you understand? Then he went to go and see a priest. That's when I started getting these things. Okay. So from there, when I got those things, that's when I realized this is what was helping me get control of the spiritual world. Meaning, as in, they have a limit of visiting me. You see? So that's from there on, that's when I've learned that I'm spiritual, and I would advise people that usually go through weird things, I would advise you to take notes, like ukufunda what is happening and notice difference and effects, and ukhulume nomuntu who you think would believe you and understand you, who would help you put 1 and 2 together and figure out if it really is or if it's not. Because then I was also once told that Ugogo, the sister, once left something towards me, and Ugogo was very, like, she always prayed. Every time she went to the priest, she prayed specifically for me, because hence I said, bonke babona umoya omnyama ilandela mina kuphela. So she would always have a lot of prayers towards me. So I was protected, you understand?
Yeah.
So ever since Ukoko Washona, I was more protected. The spirituals were limited. You understand? It was limited. I didn't see too much spirits. And when we were staying here in forest, I was so used to my spirits, man wabona, and then mazimtusa. I would just like, so even if he hears me speak, then I never forget because he also noticed that I made peace with the spirits. So mazimtusa nokuvuka nje like mangibize ngefoni no-flash lapho ngithi yazi bese ngikhona ngicela ngiluthusa, and then I'd go back. And then I'd feel their presence ukuthi hayi zikhona ukhisha azimhluphi mara zikhona zizinto zabo. Yabo?
So you command them. Now I mean you can control.
Yes,
them.
now I have that thing of ukhisha. I'm used to the spirits. They don't have control over me.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't say every month, but maybe after a few months I have to go and renew this with a certain type of prayer that will.
Okay. No, it's very nice to hear. Oh, you renew it
Yes,
in
in every after a while I renew because of the protection.
Yeah.
So I never know if I can leap in line.
Yeah.
Because you meet a new person every day. So I
ever since Wi-Fi, as you've said, you've seen it.
So because kona ngisakhumula sahlala eJozi. Ngageza. So mageza I keep. But apparently, as I grew older, I couldn't take it out. So when I took it out, I was young. I keep. So I was looking into these things that have holes. You see, there was in the flat in the middle, there was a bakery downstairs.
Yeah.
Upstairs, I don't know what was that thing, but in the flat, it was that thing, the top of the bakery. So it had these holes surrounded around it.
Yeah.
And I decided something called me, like, like just look at any hole you feel like. How now I go to a specific block, and in that block I go to a specific hole. My needs, they were playing hide and seek. So I was playing. All of a sudden, something was like, just look in these holes. Just pay. I can see a bear. Okay, but who said?
What is it like?
An eye, like one eye.
Yeah. It is like from.
And that time it was like a cat's eye, like that shape of a thing. It wasn't a human eye.
Yeah.
And then I called my friends and I pointed the same hole and the same place. I'm like, guys, come and see this thing. They looked at like hiding us body next. I'm like, what? They're like, guys, I need bone. They're like, hi. I'm like, now. And then that's when I touched myself here and I'm like, oh, I need to I ran upstairs quickly and I told I even marked that place with Yabawida. I'm not kitchen and I told oh, okay. So if I should see it has control over
spiritual eyes are like wide open, so you can see things that you're not supposed to see, or that
exactly
no one has seen.
It keeps me away from or tolerating what I'm not supposed to see. It helps me tolerate.
Okay. No, I wish I can say this is what it's part two, right? Because but the interview is nice. Like we can keep going. We've already passed the normal time. So I couldn't stop you because I can see, we're still going. So Emakaya, we're still gonna have Fatima again for part 2. I really enjoyed having this conversation with you. I just hope you also enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to our channel and follow our channel. And like the video, because if you like the video, we get a chance for you to go even further. Don't forget to share as well the video. So this is my closing.
Thank you for viewing this channel. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you all for having me, and hopefully we'll see each other again in the second part.
Okay, bye, Makaya. We'll see you next time.